Right. We're live. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Okay, so we're going to talk about you guys are diamond. Now what? What's next? So I really want to talk. We all are here because we want to learn about two-star, obviously, and how to get to two-star and how to qualify for the New Leaders Retreat, which is in California in January. And I say California because I'm not sure where. I haven't looked at the details. But the first things that I wanted to talk with you guys about are quarterly bonuses and kind of explain those because I know it's hard to find information on that. So there are 4 different milestones in your Beachbody business where you get quarterly bonuses. It's 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star. And what it is there's a pool that's based on the total team volume of all of Beachbody. You know how we get cycle bonuses? We've been talking about team volume a lot and volume in your power legs. Well, it's the entire team Beachbody volume, and there's a percentage pool that's set aside for the 2-star bonus, the 5-star, 10-star, 15-star. Each pool is half a percentage. It's each the same amount. So for example's sake, which it isn't, we're going to say each pool is $250,000. It's much more than that. But we're going to say that, for example. So if there are 200 2-star diamonds, that pool is going to be smaller, right? Because there's 200. But if there's only 5 15-star diamonds and that pool's $250,000, they're each going to get $50,000. Right? So the pools are each the same, but there's fewer coaches in that pool. So when you're a 2-star diamond, you get the 2-star diamond bonus. When you're a 5-star, you get part of the 5-star pool and part of the 2-star pool. When you're a 10-star, you get part of the 10-star pool, the 5-star, and the 2-star. Kind of makes sense, right? Okay, so to qualify for those pools, you have to be that rank, 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, for 6 consecutive weeks every quarter. So you know how when coaches have been ranking up to 2-star qualifying, for example, Jessie is 2-star qualifying, and I say qualifying, it's because you have to hold a rank for 6 consecutive weeks to actually rank up to that rank. Now, let's say we have quarters, right? And our first quarter of the year is pretty much January, February, March. The second quarter of the year is April, May, June. The third quarter, July, August, September. Fourth quarter, October, November, December. So let's say that you rank up to 2-star qualifying the last 2 weeks of September. So you have two weeks in September and the next 4 weeks are in October. Awesome. You would rank up to 2-star, but you have not yet qualified for the 4th quarter bonus until you have 6 consecutive weeks in that quarter, even if you're already 2-star. Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense?
Will you just repeat it real quickly one more time?
Yep. So let's say you rank up, you go into 2-star qualifying the last 2 weeks of September. September's the 3rd quarter. October starts the 4th quarter. So your two pay periods of your 2-star qualifying are in the 3rd quarter, and the next 4, because it's 6 consecutive weeks to rank up, are in the 4th quarter. So you would rank up to 2-star, but you have not yet qualified for the 2-star bonus because 2 of the weeks were in the 3rd quarter and 4 of the weeks were in the last quarter. So every quarter it has to be 6 consecutive weeks. Now obviously if you rank up at the end of October and you have 4 consecutive weeks, you just need to hold it for 2 more to get that quarterly bonus, meaning you can't fall out of rank. And rank, it happens every Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, and I've been covering this with my personally sponsored coaches a lot, you want to go to your Coach Online office, go to your sponsorship drill down, and check who is projected inactive. When you click, if somebody's projected inactive, click on their coach ID number and then click order details. Because when you do that, you can look at their order details. If they ordered, let's say it's September 24th, and it shows that they're projected inactive. I don't even know what day that is. I'm just making up something random. And you see, oh, in August, their Shakeology went through on the 25th. Well, their Shakeology is probably going to go through on August 25th, or September 25th. So you know to go back in 2 days and verify that that went through. And if that person going inactive would cause you to lose rank, you also want to be proactive about getting a few more coaches there to solidify that rank. The one thing when it comes to ranking up to diamond, 1-star, 2-star, when you first rank up, it's rocky. It always is. Maybe not for everybody, but for me it is. When I ranked up to diamond, every week I was replacing a new coach because I'm like, oh no, somebody's going to fall inactive and I don't want to lose diamond. And when I ranked up to 2-star, it was the same thing. Every week I was like, oh no, is that coach going to lose diamond? Until that coach got more solid. And you guys, I'm really like, I don't want to jinx myself, so everybody like knock on wood, cross your fingers, whatever you think, like send positive vibes. Today is the last day of my 10-star qualifying. And the reason I freak out about that is because I checked Thursday morning, everybody was good to go. I checked again Friday, everybody was good to go. Because if I do have one coach that's a little bit rocky, if one of their emeralds returns something or one of their emerald coaches quits, God forbid, I would lose rank tonight, and it could happen. So I am like crazily checking my coach online office until the very last moment and taking screenshots and have customers and coaches on backup in case I need to sign somebody up. So I'm freaking out. But it's kind of like with the new 10-star qualifying, I know that it's going to be rocky. The cool thing is in this 6 weeks, my diamond coaches have pushed so hard to make sure that they stay there, but they also have gotten stronger in those 6 weeks. Am I freezing?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It looks like I'm freezing on my side, but I'm glad I'm not on your side. So my coaches have actually gotten more solid. Natalie's one of my diamond coaches. She started out like rocky. I was like, oh no, we're in this 10-star qualifying. She now has 6 emeralds, 6 or 7 or something. I don't know. I haven't checked today because now she's a little more solid. I don't have to be so freakish about her business and checking every single day. But so that's going to happen. And I'm telling you this because I want you guys to be proactive with your business. When you do rank up, check every Thursday morning, check periodically, every couple days in case somebody does return something or does quit, so you have time to replace. But it also sees where you're weak and who you need to work with to help them solidify. So just wanted to get all of that out of the way. 6 weeks every quarter. Now, the cool thing about that is every quarter is 13 weeks. We have 52 weeks in a year, divided by 4, it's 13. You can do the math. You can like put in your calculator if you don't believe me. But so 13 weeks is every quarter, and you have to qualify for 6 consecutive weeks. So say you're already 2-star at the beginning of the quarter, the beginning of the 4th quarter, you're going to want to hold that for 6 weeks, right? So the last day that you guys can rank up, start qualifications for 2-star for the new leaders retreat is also the last day that you can rank up for the quarterly bonus. And why I say the quarterly bonus is because it has to be 6 weeks. So that'll be the last 6 weeks of the quarter for you to qualify for the new leaders retreat and the quarterly bonus. Questions? Does that make sense? Did I confuse anyone?
Again,
what was that?
When is that again? Like what date?
Yeah, so it is, and I'm going to have to verify just to make sure because this is what another coach told me and I haven't gone in and like figured out the dates myself, but it is November 18th. So November 18th, everything needs to show that you are a 2-star diamond coach. I'm going to count the weeks really quick. So basically, November 18th, if you're 2-star by that day, you have your 12 active coaches, your diamond on each side, everybody is good to go. That is considered your first week of qualifications. When you wake up Thursday morning, it would show 2-star diamond qualifying, but that previous pay period that ended on the 18th, that's considered your first week. This is really confusing for a lot of coaches, the 6-week qualification, because it's actually kind of like 5. So if you look at your calendar, November 18th, you're there, that's your first week. The 19th through the 25th would be your second week of qualifications. The 26th, November 26th through December 2nd, would be your third week of qualifications. December 3rd through the 9th, fourth week of qualifications. 10th through the 16th, 5th week of qualifications, and the 17th through the 23rd, 6th week of qualifications. So let me check on that because it might be the following week. It might be the November.
I think it said online the 26th.
Does it say the 26th? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then yes, now that I just counted through, since the 30th of December is on a Wednesday, so you would wake up on the 31st. So yes, so it is actually, and I will verify this for everybody because I don't want to give you guys the wrong date, but it's the 25th. So by my calculations of the 6-week qualifications. So the 25th of November, which is awesome. You guys have more time. Personally, I don't go by that last week. Like if you're doing any sort of thing for your coaches, like, oh, if you guys all rank up by this day and hold it, I'm taking you to lunch or whatever you're coming up with for your team, or if you do have something like that, I never do it on the deadline. I do it the week before because I'm a crazy person, and then I feel like if people miss it, and a lot of times people miss it by just a couple days because they're pushing so hard, because they don't start pushing hard now, they push hard at the very last minute. I told you I'm kind of crazy. You don't have to do that, but I do. Okay, so with 2-star, do you guys all understand kind of the qualifications?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you have to be 2-star. The one thing to know when you're looking through your personally sponsored diamonds, these are a couple mistakes that I have made. Your personally sponsored diamond needs to have at least 100 PV. At least 100. I have lost a rank because one of my personally sponsored coaches went down to 90 PV. They had their Shakeology order, but they didn't have any customers. They didn't have 100 PV, and they fell out of diamond. So that's something to really make sure. The 4 active coaches on each leg, so they have to be active, and then they're emerald on each leg. You, as a star diamond coach, 2-star diamond coach, have to have at least 200 PV. You guys all have really high PV. That's not something I'm worried about, but it is something to keep in mind because, I don't know, maybe somebody returns a bunch of stuff or something and you have like a negative. You want to make sure that falls, you have that 200 PV. The reason I say that is because I don't build Paul's business a ton, but I have started again to build it. And one time he was actually Star Diamond, and I was like, why isn't he Star Diamond right now? And it was because he had like 180 PV. Like I said, I don't build his business. I don't put a bunch of customers with him. And so that was a wake-up call to me. I'm like, oh, shoot, yeah, he doesn't have the 200 PV for Star Diamond. So those are just little key pointers because I've made that mistake, and I just had to learn the hard way. And it was stuff that I knew that I just kind of overlooked. So if you're really worried about it, call Coach Relations, say, hey, can you look through and make sure that I am qualified and there's nothing missing? The other little thing that I will tell you, and this is just me being crazy, again, as you can see, I'm just crazy. I screenshot when I'm in qualifications for income, when it's going to change my income, I screenshot on Wednesday nights. Everyone. Each diamond coach, and I expand and show their emeralds in the sponsorship drill down, and I do a screenshot. You guys don't have to do this, but I have had cases where I go to bed on Wednesday night and everybody's good, and I wake up on Thursday morning and I've lost rank. And I'm like, no, it was good the night before. They're like, no, so-and-so's inactive. I'm like, they were not inactive in my Coach Online office on Wednesday night. And there's no way for me to prove that. So if it's not affecting my rank, if I've already qualified for that quarterly bonus, I don't worry about it. But with 10-star, you guys better believe every Wednesday night, Paul screenshots everything for me for every single diamond coach and their emeralds, so that if that does happen, I'm covered. Like I said, you don't have to do this. The reason I'm sharing it with you is because a lot of coaches have lost rank recently and therefore lost income because of things like that. And a lot of times it could be like a return on a Wednesday night, which isn't actually allowed. So if there is a return on a Wednesday night, you can call and say, like on Thursday morning, if you have the screenshots, perfect, you can show they were active, but you can also say, a return was processed on Wednesday night and it shouldn't have been. Returns aren't processed on Wednesdays. Cool? I have had a return processed on a Wednesday. because somebody called in and was like, no, I want it returned right now, and they should have waited and processed it Thursday morning, and they didn't, and it did cause me to lose rank. They fixed it. But just little things. I'm sharing this because these are things that have happened to me. Nobody ever shared with me, and I had to learn them all the hard way. And a lot of times you will have to learn things the hard way, but I'm just hoping if I can share a few things, a few tips, that maybe you won't have to learn them quite everything the hard way like I did. Okay, so with 2-star, everybody's business is starting at different points. Okay, so I want to go through an example. If you are a diamond coach with 8 active and 2 coaches, or an emerald on each leg, that's all you have. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to break it down. I haven't done this yet, so I'm going to break it down right here, kind of on my little notepad, but with you guys on, of what it would take to get to 2-star in 2 months. And then you guys, this is so possible. The first biggest tip I can give you is you have to believe that this is possible. If you don't believe it's possible and you're like, I'm going to shoot for it, but I don't think it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, you have to have 100% confidence that you can do this, that you can get to 2-star by November, what did we say, 25th?
25th.
25th. Okay. So it depends if you have coaches that are building or not. So I'm going to share from the standpoint of, I'm a diamond coach. Christy is a diamond coach, and she has her husband, Paul, on one leg and her mom on the other leg, and those are her emeralds. Sound good? Good scenario? Okay. So I am a diamond coach with 4 active coaches on each leg and 1 emerald, nothing more. My goals for each month, so we're going to say my goal for September, October, and November is to sign, oops, sorry if somebody needs to get that. My goal is to sign 2 coaches with me, 2 coaches with Paul, 2 coaches with my mom. October, 2 coaches with me, 2 coaches, 2 to 3 coaches actually, with Paul, 2 to 3 coaches with my mom. November, 2 coaches with me, 2 to 3 for Paul, and 2 to 3 for my mom. Okay, so with what I just shared with you, that would be 14. If I started with 8 active coaches, that would put me at 14 active coaches, as long as no one's gone inactive. And that's why I kind of went over the 12 active that's needed, because you guys know people can go inactive. With my mom and Paul, they were each just emeralds, so 2 or 2 to 3 coaches would be 6 to 8 coaches for each of them. So that would put them at 8 to 10 coaches, 8 to 10 active coaches. So that would, and of course you have to find those emeralds on each leg and help them get to emerald. So my thing would be, I would go above this personally. This is kind of the bare minimum. So I would be pushing for like 3 coaches for Paul and 3 coaches for my mom every month, because that would give me 9 coaches, and they already have 2, so I would put them at 11 coaches each, which is going to give me a better chance of finding those rockstar emeralds. I would be on Zooms with my new coaches, you know, really pushing them, covering their hesitations, answering all their questions, probably a little bit more than I normally would in my systems. I would be doing like Emerald Push Zooms. I would get them in an Emerald Push group. Our new Emerald Push group is incredible. We have them creating a list of 200 right away, which helps them to get a little more confident with inviting right away. You guys, I have coaches that I honestly didn't think were going to build that are going Emerald and getting Success Club from this new Emerald Push group. And it's the ones that are sticking with it. It's a 30-day group. So that's what I would do, is I would get everybody started in one. If I had to run it on my own, I would get them started as quickly as possible. Find other coaches to run one with you so that you are getting those coaches. You're not having them put off waiting to get those groups started. So that's what I would do. That would get you to 2-star. Now, if you guys have coaches that are already building or have more than 2 active coaches, you're ahead of the game, right? Like Natalie, one of your coaches has 8 active or 9 or 10. I haven't checked yet recently. And you have control of your husband. I had to think, not your fiance, not your boyfriend, your husband. So you have control of his business, which is awesome. So that gives you control on that other leg to build. But you also have builders. So reach out to your builders. Share with them your goals. Say, I am pushing for a 2-star. I have other businesses that I'm going to focus on building too. But I would love, if your goal is diamond, I would love to help you get there. Let's create a plan. And break down their goals for them. Break down what they need to accomplish each month. And then talk with them every week. So something that I do with my coaches, like this last Zoom that I had with them, the challenge for the week was I want you to find out how many no's you have to get to find one yes. That's your challenge. Go for, I don't care if it's 1,000 no's. I want to know how many no's it took you to get that one yes. Because when they do that in 1 week and they get that one yes, then we know, okay, you're going to repeat that the next week and you're going to get one more yes. They have 4 yeses in a month. That's amazing. That's Success Club 8. That's them finding their new coaches that they need. It's the basics. It's the basics that we do as coaches that we're teaching them, but you almost start to think of creative ways to help push them past their comfort zones. Creative ways, break it down for them, because a lot of times I have a new diamond coach, and when I covered all this with her the other day, she was like, oh my gosh, I love having deadlines. I love being able to see this all. I know what I need to do each month. I know how many coaches I need and how many coaches my coaches need. So it gave her a little bit more direction. So sit down with your coaches and do the same thing. Break it down. What do they need to achieve? Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. Questions, maybe specific questions about your business, where you're at, what that would look like for you, anything.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my sister, obviously. I talked to you about that, and I'm building her business, but I also remembered, I know this is so weird, but I forgot that my dad signed up to be a coach on my team. So he's on my right leg, but I have 2 girls who want to build a diamond. I have one coach who's like pretty close. She just needs 6 more coaches, and she already has an emerald, and she's going to make her husband an emerald. But so technically, with my 2 like people, like my dad and my sister, like I could build myself to diamond or 2-star diamond, but I'm wondering if should I be doing that and spreading myself thin, or should I be like focusing on Marissa, focusing on my sister's business, and then helping actually get there too, because she wants to rank up at some point, but I think Marissa's closer. So I'm just like wondering, like, where is best to like focus all my attention?
Yeah. No. So I'll kind of share with you what I do. Because I'm not at 2-star obviously, but I build my business first every month. I get myself, my 3 to 5 coaches, Success Club 10, and then I move to Paul's business, and I get him 2 to 3 coaches. If I don't get him those coaches, I don't move on to the 3rd business, my mom's business. I stay in Paul's business. So some months I don't get to hers. Hers is kind of like currently the after fact, because if Paul loses rank, he can lose $1,750 a week. So it's really important. He has a really good position in my business because he signed up early. So it's really important that is my focus. And then so I push, of course, that helps me push to get there so then I can move to the next business, but it also doesn't put too much pressure on me where I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not achieving anything. Like, first and foremost, my business is the most important, Success Club 10 and 3 to 5 coaches. and then I moved to Paul. Does that kind of help?
Yeah.
I would say with your one coach that has is Emerald and has an Emerald, that's amazing. She needs 6 active coaches and 1 Emerald. That's 8 coaches, and she controls the other Emerald. So if she can sign up 2 to 3 coaches a month, she would be there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if she's really pushing, that's totally doable. So it's more, sitting down with her and figuring out, like, every coach is so different with their, what I call your closing ratios. I hate saying that because people ask me, how do you close? I'm like, I don't. I just ask. It's just a question. I don't know how to close. They say yes or they say no, and I'm like, okay. But with, like, the business activity tracker, for example, I use that with my new coaches because I can see if they're inviting 30 people a day, whether that's they're connecting with 30 people the weeks before and inviting 30, or if they're connecting with 10 and inviting 10, whatever it is, what I can start to see what they personally need to do, because every coach is so different. Some of you are really great at just, like, building relationships and getting people to ask you about it, and that's not me. Like, I would rather plant the seed with, like, 200 people and build the relationship in the process and have them say no and continue to build a relationship with them and come back to me and say, yes, I know I'm weird. That's just, like, it's what works for me. So every coach is going to be different in that sense, but with the business activity tracker, you can start to see what activity levels they personally need to do that work for them to actually get those 3 to 5 yeses, 3 to 5 new coaches for their business.
Okay.
And, honestly, like, in my mind personally, 2 to 5, 2 to 3, 3 to 5 new coaches for any coach on this team is doable if they have the belief. Because I can run a free group and I use Facebook ads, but before I use Facebook ads, I could run a free group and have a goal of having 100 new people in there, 100 new contacts, or having 200 new contacts, whatever my goal was. And with 100 new contacts, I can get 2 to 3 coaches from a free group. If really used correctly and build relationships with people. And that's just from a free group. That's not even like a paid challenge group where, people are experiencing the programs and the products and then becoming a coach.
Yeah.
So that's something you guys could do too. Like, set up something that you're doing where you're running with those coaches who want to run. Like, say, let's do this. Let's do a fun challenge group. Let's do a fun free group. Your team's really great at that, Emily. Setting up a free group and everybody coming together, and sit down with your coaches that are pushing and say, okay, we got to go big. We need to have you have 100 new contacts in this group, because I think if it's only a 7-day group or a 10-day group or whatever it is, but if we're doing this every month, that, we're going to find those coaches from that. We're going to find those coaches from Instagram, so that there's multiple avenues coming in. Because I think for me personally, with, like, Facebook and Instagram and free groups, when I look across the board and I sign up, it, like, never fails. I push and I sign up 10 coaches. Some months I don't push hard enough and I sign up 10 coaches. But when I look at it, like, most of them come from Facebook, a few of them come from Instagram, a few of them come from my free group. So you do a really good job of teaching those things, to your team. So then setting up those groups and working with them so that they can focus on the inviting and get, like, bigger numbers in the group.
Okay. Cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So right now I have 2 solid people building on my power leg that are both shooting for diamond, and that happens to be the same leg that Zach's on. So my issue right now is, like, do I even focus on really building him, because I really kind of want to just focus solely on my weak leg of, like, what we talked about, drawing in that volume and helping the people on my weak leg get to diamond. Of course, my power leg people too, but more so just focus solely on that instead of building Zach right now, or should I still focus on building him?
So this is where it gets, it goes back, Natalie, to, like, your priorities and what's important to you. So there's a coach on the team, and I'm not going to say her name, but she has 3 diamond coaches, and she had her second business center. She had 2 diamonds on one side, 1 on the other, and her second business center. And she did not build her second business center to diamond, so she should have gotten the 2-star bonus. But this coach right here fell out. 2 diamonds on one leg. She lost the 2-star bonus. And she was super bummed about it. And I'm not going to say I don't have empathy for that, because I know it sucks when you lose that kind of stuff, but she had control to build that business center and be solid at that rank, right? So it's tough, because you know how we always talk about, like, even if we have, you know, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, and that was the thing with me, is like, the one issue I have is I don't want to rely on anybody else. So that's where I'm like, I'm torn, because, I mean, I guess I could just mostly focus on, like you said, focus on my business first and foremost, get it to Success Club 10, get my coaches for myself, and then switch gears at the end for Zach and keep building him too, I guess. But
yeah, and I mean, it kind of never fails too when I put people with my mom. Like, they end up being a rock star. So there's that, but then you're like, okay, well, cool, then they're like a solid diamond and I don't have to worry about it. Like, good problem to have, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, that's where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky. It's like building that weak leg is going to build you more income. However, you know, if you want, like, I don't know what your points are for Premier or Elite, but 2-star is also 2-star Premier. So you're going to get the recognition from 2-star Premier, the quarterly bonus, and then be able to attend the new leaders retreat. The new leaders retreat could be that thing where, I mean, you took a lot away from Summit and have soared since. So the new leaders retreat could be that one thing where you just learn something there that, like, takes your business to the next level. So yeah, you might lose some of those cycle bonuses by placing with Zach, but he is also on the power leg, so once he's that solid diamond, you can also build his weak leg. So there's that too.
Yeah.
You know? So you're not actually, just aha moment. So when you're building him, all those coaches that you're putting on that weak leg, you're still building his weak leg volume. So you're not technically losing out on those cycle bonuses from not placing them on your weak leg, because you're just getting them on his weak leg.
Oh yeah, so it really wouldn't be any different.
So the only ones you're going to miss are those 3 active that you put on his power leg and that emerald, which is only 5 times 9 is about 500 PV. So that's 500 PV that's building that power leg that you're not going to get paid on. But the other 500 would be on his weak leg.
Okay. Okay, so it would be worth it then.
Yeah, I think so. However, like, see, this is where it's kind of like that torn between, like, so 500 PV on a weak leg is $90 a month. So it's like, okay, there's that $90 a month. No, the quarterly bonus would pay more. The quarterly bonus would pay more.
Yep.
So perfect. Sorry, I always have to talk it out loud and, like, figure it out in my head. Any other questions? No? Jenny?
Jenny.
Oh, I muted myself because I have the phone ringing in here. Oh my gosh. The one thing that's going through my head is, like, what would you say would be a good, like, incentive for our coaches? You were saying, like, have, like, a date that they need to be held diamond by. Like, I'm trying to think of good incentives, because sometimes I do, like, wear and share stuff for getting certain ranks, and some people kind of go for it and some don't seem to care that much. Do you have any good ideas of incentives?
So I would have your coaches take one of the color code, which is in it. It was in the Coach Basics, and figure out which color they are, because in the color code, depending on their color, you'll find out what motivates them. So I have a really hard time motivating whites. And I, for some reason, attract a lot of white people to the team. And whites as in there's, white, blue, red, and yellow. And I am like almost like 50-50 blue and red and have very little yellow and very little white. For some reason, I attract a lot of whites. One of my really good friends is on the team, and she's a white, and I have a hard time motivating them. Well, I've read up and kind of learned that what motivates them really is the emotion behind it, like the emotion of changing someone's life, of empowering someone. They're very peace, love type personality. And so not me at all. It's not me at all. And so I've always had a really hard time motivating them. I do really well motivating reds. Jessie, I can motivate her because she is motivated by the same things that I'm motivated by, so I understand it. Same with blues. But like reds are going to be motivated by competition, like beating someone. It doesn't even matter if there's a gift. They don't even care.
That's
like I can always tell because it's the people on the team that their name is towards the top of the Success Club point earners list. It is so, and it's amazing. It works amazing for me when because it motivates them. Some people are motivated by gifts. Like yellows love gifts. Any gift, just because it's a gift, they want to win it. Like it's not the competition, it's the gift. It's the act of like getting that. So it's so tough because everybody's going to be motivated by something different. So it's almost like when you're doing an incentive, you need to figure out those coaches that you're doing the incentive targeted towards and try to cover every single aspect of that. Even when you're writing out your incentive, like it has to intrigue every single one of those personalities. I know that's probably not the answer you were
That's okay.
for.
No, it
More
helps.
work.
I'm like trying to just wrap my head around it all.
Yeah. And you know what? Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say I just posted in my team page yesterday asking coaches what kind of gifts they wanted, and I just straight up asked them. I said, if you were to get a code or get a gift, would you like this, and I numbered it 1 through 5, and I said, let me know which type you would like. And they all responded, and they were super excited. So you could always just ask them.
That's a good idea. I really like that. Because honestly, I could gear it towards the person. Like, it doesn't have to be everyone is one thing. Like, I could find out what they would want, and then that's what they'll get.
Yeah. And incentives are hard, you guys. I do more incentives now than I ever have because I'm hoping that there's like that one person in the downline who maybe their coach signed them up and disappeared, that it's really going to spark their interest and change their business. Like that's honestly why I do a lot of incentives now. And it's fun too because a lot of you are pushing all the time, so then it gives you guys a little something, for your work. But incentives didn't work for me for a long time. Like I would do an incentive and it was like crickets and nobody would do anything for it. So it's like, Natalie, that's a perfect thing. Just ask them and see what they want. But even then, sometimes it's just not enough to get people to push. Like it really, like it might be cool for them for the first week and then they fall off. I don't know if you've read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. Have you read it, Emily?
I'm listening to it right now, and I listen to it every night.
Yeah, that one has really helped a lot of my coaches, a lot of them, because I think they struggle with understanding their own why. So that book has helped a lot. You could do some kind of like book club where you actually each, read a chapter every week or something and get on a Zoom with all of them and talk about their why. Get really to the core of it. You guys are going to think I'm an awful person, but at Summit, I told them after I took a couple of different groups of coaches to like lunch and stuff, and I thought, oh gosh, they're going to think like I'm super cheesy. I made everyone go around and share like why they become a coach and what they want to achieve, what their goals are, and why are those their goals. And after we got done, I said, sorry to tell you guys, but this was my whole like point of this lunch was to make you all cry. They were all in tears, like bawling, and that was my goal. My goal was to make every single one of them cry. So my new thing with when I do getting started Zooms with coaches, I want to get to the heart of their why to where they are on the Zoom with me crying. Like, it sounds so bad. I'm going to make you cry. But because if they can connect that much with their why and their purpose for doing this business, that is going to push them more than any incentive will. Because honestly, what?
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
When I do the incentives, the ones that are pushing for every incentive are all of you that already have a strong why. Like, you guys are just pushing harder because you're like, oh, cool, I love wear and share. I love, like, winning something, you know? But you guys already have that reason for the business.
Totally.
But, Natalie, I love your idea of just asking. That's a lot smarter.
What are your ideas, Natalie, for guests? Sorry, I'm just jotting down some notes.
I said a gift card. I said wear and share, like something from the Beachbody website. I said just something I would pick out for them that I thought they would personally like. I said something that was business related, like a book, you know, because I was thinking maybe like getting them a passion planner or something. And then I said or like something fun from Etsy, like a cute girly thing from Etsy or something. So I gave them like all kinds of like non-business related type of thing too. So
the other thing, I was just going to say, celebrate their failures. Celebrate their failures so they want to fail more. That's something that I've just started doing, and it really is huge. And I don't know why I never thought of it before and didn't do it more. But shout out those coaches that invite 100 people for the week and heard all no's and keep going. Like, I am so pumped right now. Colin, you guys, he's been a coach on my team for 2 years. And I've wanted success for him so badly. And he has never given up. Never. He's always pushing. He's always trying. And this month, he signed up 5 coaches in 3 days. Success Club 14 in like 3 days. And it was like he finally found his niche. He's a veterinarian, and that's his niche. And he just never believed that that was really a niche for him. And now his Facebook ads are working. He's using the Anita Myron script. Her last question that says, you know, sign up as a coach or a customer. And the first 2 people signed up as customers. So he's like, oh, shoot, this isn't going to work. And then the next 5 signed up as coaches. And he's done.
I love that script.
He's done ads on Facebook for years, but it was just finding his niche, and he's never given up. And that is awesome. But it's like I have to also point out when I say that all of those failures, because if not, people just look at it as, oh, he had easy success. He didn't. He has been barely like earning Success Club some months not earning it, and pushing so hard every single month for 2 years. And that guy is going to soar now. Just watch him soar. Like, so much has clicked because he didn't give up. And it's so cool. But celebrate their failures. You know, I have a coach right now. She's pushing for Diamond so hard. And she's inviting like 40 to 50 people a day. Part of it, I think, is her niche. But as she's failing more, she's going to get closer to that next right answer, right? Because she's failing faster. And so I'm like so proud of her, and I keep telling her, I'm excited. I don't even care that you're not Diamond. I am so freaking excited that you are pushing so hard. Like, that's amazing. So really do celebrate their failures so that it's a win, you know, that they understand that they're winning before they have that yes.
Yeah, because I think that that's really hard for new coaches too, because I was just actually talking to my coach last night, and she was saying that she was getting discouraged and whatnot. And I told her, like, you know, don't get discouraged, because it's amazing that you're putting yourself out there, and it's amazing that you are trying to help people. Like, most people don't do this. So don't say that you're not succeeding, because you are, just by doing the small thing. So I tried to help her understand that.
Yeah, and something else with new coaches that I tell them, I'm like, this stuff works. You have to trust the process and trust in your why and do those activities. And it clicks for everyone at a little bit different time. But if you're doing these things and pushing and failing faster, you will get there faster.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Amanda, do you have any questions?
No, I just got back to my office, so I was obviously very distracted while I was listening the whole time, though.
It's okay. It's recorded.
Get back in gear. I've been a little off. So anyway, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Thank you for the dolphin show.
Yeah.
Nothing else was working well on that, so I figured I might as well make somebody else's day.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast.